Good afternoon. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? I'll try to talk loud. That's been my forte over the course of my life, that I can talk loud. Back when I was a coach, I was even louder. Something about transitioning into administration, you tend to lose your voice. But today, I want to welcome you to Northside High School. We may have some middle schoolers trickle in. They're coming over from Darby and Kimmons to witness this, because we do believe that when we develop successes, we need people to see how successful we really can be and are. A few years ago, I thought about writing a book. I know, I'm not that smart, but I thought about writing a book. And I was going to title that book, "Oh, If These Bleachers Could Talk," referring to Mayo Thompson Stadium and the fact that countless, thousands of what I'm going to call high energy and outstanding, some world-class athletes have passed through the doors of that stadium and played on that football field. Those folks that led the way through integration in 1965 and developed what we are today as a culturally diverse school of academics and athletics and excellence. And we celebrate that daily. In 1932, here's a little history lesson for you. In 1932, they built that football stadium that we play in today. Thus the reason why I contemplated writing a book, "Oh, If These Bleachers Could Talk," and the stories that they can tell about outstanding athletes who have played on that football field. Before you sits a few of those, and we at Northside High School are so proud of you and the excellence that you had in the stadium and in the classroom. The expectation that when you graduate from here, you don't forget us. Don't ever forget where you came from. It's the most important lesson that I could give anybody. Don't forget where you came from. Regardless of where you go in life, academically, professionally, athletically, don't ever forget that. Because these are what I call your roots. They were my roots in 1987, 88, and 89. They were my dad's roots in 1967, 68, and 69. They were Benny Shepard's roots, who walked over here in 1967, graduated in 68. They were John Bozeman's roots, who was just here last week, a United States Senator that graduated from Northside High School, played football for the Arkansas Razorbacks in the late 60s. These are your roots. Don't you ever forget where you came from. That's the best advice I can give you. I want you to know from us how proud we are of you and how proud we are of all of you. And I want free tickets because I will travel. I'm very proud of all of you. Thank you for what you did for our school and what you continue to do. We love you. Don't you ever forget that. And you come back anytime you need to come back just to get grounded. Because sometimes we all need to get a little grounded. I'll tell you another. I walked by the arena my first night on the job here. I was so happy to be the principal at Northside High School, because this is my home. And I walked by the arena one night. The lights were on, about 8 o'clock. Well, I thought, I'm fixing to flex my muscles, because there's not supposed to be anybody in the arena at 8 o'clock. So I go in there and scan my bag. And I walk into the arena. And there is Jalen Williams, Isaiah Joe, Con Thomas, and Trey Norwood. I said, hey, fellas, y'all have a good night. And I walked out. Don't ever forget where you came from. We're very proud of you. Thank you.
And before we go any further, we just kind of take for granted that everybody knows who's in here. The position coach is going to come up and talk a little bit more specific about each athlete. But at this time, I'm going to introduce each athlete in there, and I want you to give them a round of applause. On the end, we have Erik Barrientos. Next to him, we have R.J. Lester. Next to him, we have Perkins. And next to Kyle, we have Amari Smith. I think if each one of these guys could talk, they wanted everybody here because for guys to go on and go to the next level, it was more than just them, and they understood that. They have their parents and their family support, which is strong. They have you as a student body, regardless if you're in the stands clapping, if you're on the field cheering, if you're on the field dancing, if you're on the field playing an instrument. Everybody, when these guys sign, it's something for us all to be proud of. I think we stopped counting last year at a banquet. We started counting the guys that have come through here and signed football scholarships since the era that Coach Fleur got here. And I guarantee you it's somewhere around 40, almost 50 kids. And I was telling these guys last night, don't take this for granted, because what they're doing, less than 1% of the people in the world do. You go off and you play high school ball, and then to go to the next level, you're doing what 1% or less than 1% of the people in the world do. So it's a huge accomplishment. And what I like to say about all of these guys generally, all of them work hard. You don't go to college by accident. All of them work hard. You got to have a certain GPA. You got to have a certain ACT score. You got to have a certain skill set. You got to have a certain attitude about who you are. And all of these guys exhibit that. They exhibit that. And Coach Carter mentioned earlier, there's a good group of kids that come out of this place right here. There's a good group of kids that come out of this place right here. And we're going to continue. We're going to continue. We want to make sure, I don't know if all the 8th graders got in, but we want to make sure that the younger guys got in there and understood what we're about. We're about trying to win championships, and we understand when you win a championship, you can pat yourself on the back for a few days, and then, it's on to the next one. But when these guys sign football scholarships, it's something that changed the direction of their life for the rest of their life, and that's what we're about right here. At this time, I'm going to ask, and we'll go in this order. Coach Little, he'll come up and talk a little bit about Erik Barrientos. Erik will sign, and Coach Darius Curry will come up and talk about R.J. Lester. He'll sign. Coach Arnold come up here and talk about Kyle Perkins. He'll sign. When Coach Bracken comes up here and talk about Amari Smith, and he'll sign. Then I'll get back up here and give us further instructions. But again, thank you for being here, and please give these guys a round of hands for me.
6 years ago, when Erik Barrientos entered the 7th grade at Kimmons, Coach Fleur told me that we got a special one down there, and we need to keep an eye on him. So all his career through Kimmons Junior High, we watched him. We knew that he had all the physical tools to be a very good football player here at Northside, but he also had some other intangibles. He had a great work ethic. He was a great teammate, and he brought that up here to Northside. He got to play quite a bit as a sophomore. He split time with little Timmy at left tackle. And then at his junior year, he played right guard. right beside Jamani, and they were an unbelievable duo on the right side. And then this last year, he moved back to left tackle and did a great job for us there. You know, things about Erik is, you know, great work ethic, great technician, a great hard worker in the weight room. He did everything that a coach would want in an offensive lineman. You know, offensive linemen don't get a whole lot of recognition for what they do, but they do get a lot of satisfaction when we are successful. And Erik, many times after touchdowns, I'm sure a lot of you guys in the room, got thrown up in the air by Erik after a touchdown. That was one of the things that he was known for, and he took a lot of pride in. But Erik isn't just a football player; he's also a great student, great academic success in the classroom as well. And you know, Erik also takes a lot of pride in being a student of the game. There's so many times, and this is the first time I've said this, Erik would text me a lot. Coach, did you notice how that defensive lineman for Greenwood likes to spin? Or Coach, this defensive end for Conway likes to swim move. And I'm like, yeah, I noticed that. I hadn't watched that film, but he had. He is a student of the game and watches a lot of film, and that only helps him, you know, on Friday nights. But Erik, I want to say this directly to you. What you're about to do, this is an opportunity. And, you know, this may be one of the greatest days of your life, but 10 years down the road, I don't want this to be the greatest day of your life. I want what you have, the opportunity you're getting to take you to greater places. Get a degree. Get established, you know, get you a career going, and make a lot more greatest days of your life. But right today, this is the opportunity that this is giving. So without further ado, Erik Barrientos is now going to sign his national letter of intent with Arkansas Tech University. Congratulations, Erik. We'll be keeping up with you. And like Coach Carter said, don't forget, you're always welcome home. All right, now we'll go with Coach Darius Curtis.
Good afternoon. This past year, I had the honor of coaching R.J. Lester. For those of you who've seen R.J. Play, it's pretty evident that he's a very good talent, physically aggressive, and he holds a lot of qualities when it comes to ball. Not only that, but he's also a student of the game. Whatever we asked of RJ to do, he could do it, whether it was playing receiver, catching kicks, obviously playing corner, playing safety, outside linebacker. Anything we asked him to do, he could do it. RJ had to overcome some things, and instead of making excuses about those things, he listened, he take heed to good advice, and he worked really hard, and I definitely commend RJ for that. Congrats to him, congrats to his family. This is, like Coach Little was saying, this is truly life-changing. We're super proud of you, and whatever you want out of this situation, you can make it happen. So just keep working, keep your head down to the grind, and it just so happens that he's going to the greatest college on planet Earth. So, congratulations to RJ again. Congrats to his family, and now he'll sign his national letter of intent. Coach Arnold. I work with the safeties here at Northside High School. A lot of people don't know I was one of the first coaches to work with Kai. He got here last spring for baseball, right? He came in, Coach Hankins gave me a call, said, hey, you need to come up here and meet this kid. Like, I don't feel like it, but I came anyway. Ended up meeting Kai for the first time, and I don't think he stopped smiling since I met him. If you know Kai, he's a real hyper, energetic kid, like smile from ear to ear. One of those guys you just really enjoy. But as a football player, there's a little switch that he can flip, and he becomes dominant. He was one of the best tacklers, one of the best defensive players we had. Like Coach Curry said about RJ, he did anything we asked of him. You need to play receiver, he'll go out there and he might block somebody in the back or something. But he's going to go out there and try to make you a play. And like they said, like all the other coaches said, man, getting to go play ball in college, it's special. Coaches on this staff got the chance to go do it, and there's nothing better than knowing that you get to play for 4 more years and possibly change your life and, you know, the outcome of your family's life. I want to say to you, make sure you cherish that moment, cherish today, but you go to work every day from now until you graduate from college, go work, go to the NFL, wherever you go, and you make sure you're better than you were the day before. Anybody who knows Kai and me's relationship knows I love him to death, but I might choke him any given day. But that being said, Kai's been a great kid, a great leader, and now he's going to sign his national letter of intent to Missouri Southern.
I'm the receivers coach here at Northside. I've had the privilege of coaching Maury over the last 3 seasons, and when I look at Maury, one of the first things that comes to mind, besides obviously the incredible speed, the athletic ability, the accomplishments he's had as a football player, the accomplishments he's had as a track athlete, one thing I want to talk about is his development as a student athlete. All these guys sitting up here, and we may have forgot, they came in at a difficult time. It was a COVID year. We had restrictions on practice. Schoolwork was difficult because the way learning was happening. All these guys sitting up here, they excelled through that. And it was a difficult time. It was a hard time for student athletes to actually develop. And all these guys excelled through it, including Maury sitting right here. Over the last 3 years, I've watched Maury, number one, grow as a student in the classroom, carrying an A and B average, trending towards straight A's this semester. I've watched him grow as a football player. He's turned into a great football player. All-conference receiver as a senior, 639 receiving yards, and probably pushing more to 1,000 if he doesn't have to miss a little time due to an injury. I've watched him turn into a great track athlete, defending 200-meter champion, state champion in track, still undefeated to this day in that race. Better hold that too in the 100 this year. All right. And I've watched him grow as a person. You know, as a coach, I've watched him grow as a person. When I talk to other coaches about Maury, I talk about his progress, I talk about his development, I talk about all his accomplishments. The one thing that excites me the most about this young man is his potential to continue to grow. I look at him, the ceiling is sky high for this guy. He has all the room in the world to continue to grow as a student, to grow as an athlete, to grow as a person. And Tulsa's going to get a heck of a guy out of this. And I say this not to take away from any previous accomplishments for Maury, but I truly believe that the best is yet to come for this young man in the future. I want to personally say congratulations to you and your family for all the hard work that you put in, and I know you put in a bunch of it, man. And at this time, he's going to sign his letter for the University of Tulsa National.
I want to say before we end, there's a few more guys in this 2023 class that will probably be signing somewhere later on, and we're hoping for the best on them. At this time, hit a little bit, the families and the signees, they're going to go to the cafeteria. Not everybody's going to the cafeteria. We told them to tell the ones that need to come over there. So at this time, if you would give all of these families another round. Again, when we get over there, if you were some of the ones that they actually come over there, you guys be able to take pictures and probably a few interviews. But at this time, I'm going to ask Erik and his family and RJ if they would exit this side. I'm going to ask Sky, his family, and Mark, they would exit this side. And we'll go to the cafeteria. Hey, when they clear out, if they actually come over there, then we'll dismiss you at that time.